Good evening, everybody. Again, another rainy evening. We not too long reach home. We just short showers and Sarah Tech just going to do she homework. And Christy now is going to prepare dinner. She is going to prepare meatballs and spaghetti. Correct?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So this is her style of dishes. So let me get cracking.
Hi folks, good afternoon. And once again, welcome to our cooking videos, right? So it's a weekday and usually when we get home from work, it's pretty late. So we try to do little quick meals, right? So as Dale said, we're just doing some spaghetti and some meatballs, right? So here I have some minced chicken that we just seasoned up quickly, right? Some just green seasoning and a little bit of powdered seasoning. Maggi season up, of course, a little bit of onion powder, some paprika, right? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some breadcrumbs in here, right? So I'm just going to pour in the breadcrumbs. And it's panko breadcrumbs. I normally use either normal breadcrumbs or I use panko as well.
And the breadcrumb is to help bind everything together.
Yes, to help bind it, right? You could also use an egg.
And what about if you use a little bit of flour?
Well, you could use the flour, but for me, the flour will get the meatballs a little on the floury side.
Okay.
Alright, so I finished putting the panko breadcrumbs and this is the texture that you're going to get, right? So it's a more drier consistency. Alright, so we're going to make our balls, our meatballs, right? So just putting a little spray into the pans. Guys, I'm going to wash my hands.
And it's wise to make sure your hand dry before you start to roll out these balls, otherwise they will get soft and soak up all that moisture from your hand.
Right, and we're just going to start with our balls. And here we have it. So I have my sous chef, right? But unfortunately today he's behind the camera, right? So it leaves me alone to do all the work, guys.
Well, today we're showing them that both of us could cook.
Now, as we said, we are not very big cooks. You know, trial and error, and we try to do things.
But once you could get the idea of what you want it to taste like, you just season accordingly. That's what I believe in.
Develop your techniques, develop your methods.
And make it work for you.
Yes.
And so long as you could eat it, it cooked.
Okay, so this is the meatballs here, right? And what we're going to do, we are going to take a more healthy approach. So we are going to put the meatballs to bake instead of fry, right? And it's much easier. Right, so that's going to stay in there for like about 15 to 20 minutes and then we're going to take it out. Okay, so we're going to put our water, bring it to a boil, and put in our spaghetti. Alright, so what I do, I normally pour in my salt. Okay, so I know I would cook with less salt. However, my sous chef, I would have to supervise him when he comes
Less salt than me.
Container, right?
Yes, guys,
Cover it.
I tend to cook with more salt than Christy because I like to taste my salt.
We're gonna bring it to a boil and we're gonna put in the spaghetti. Now, I normally use Swiss spaghetti.
But we have used other brands before and it worked good. Didn't really have a problem with it. So guys, while we wait for this to come to a boil, this water to come to a boil, we have some lovely pears, right? And I had already tried one of these pears, and believe me, it's really sweet and nice. Really sweet, and I haven't had this in a long time. So guys, while Kristy organizing her stuff for the meatball sauce and for her spaghetti, I want to send shout out to all the supporters so far. I really can't remember all the names.
I'll help you.
But Kristy going to help me, right? And I must say thank you very much for all the likes, for the subscription, for the love and the support. Thank you very much. So we want to send shout out to Judy, Dolly,
Melissa, Bibi
Ram,
right?
yes,
Gerard and Hazel,
FPL,
right?
Trinity Wool,
Cody, Azisha, right?
Anu, Natasha, Panta.
And we have a lot more as time goes along.
Yeah, we will get more familiar with the names and we will shout about
Salif,
Maxim,
Elizabeth,
yes,
right? Hanifa, Florence,
yes,
Deborah, right?
So thank you guys very, very much.
Lessons.
And as we remember more names, we will call them out.
Folks, so our water is boiling, right? And I am going to put in the spaghetti. I am going to leave the spaghetti like this, and eventually it will boil down and all will go into the pot. And there you have it. So we're going to leave that to boil.
And we have spaghetti.
And we're going to have our spaghetti. Quick and simple, right? So let me say good night to a few more people, right? Patricia Bedo, Yuna Chow, hello to Jen, my lovely cousin Lisa, Dale,
Steve Ampasad, yes,
Sharon M, and the names will come.
Yeah.
It will come again. So folks, you all know the drill. Clean as you go.
I just finished washing up all the little dishes that are around. So as Sana does it, clean as you go. So when you're finished, you don't have no set of ways to wash.
So you see guys, I have my handsome sous chef and I'm putting them to good use.
Yes, solid.
So Shanta and Tony, love you guys. Thanks for the support. Okay folks, so while our spaghetti is boiling and our meatballs is in the oven, we're gonna start the spaghetti sauce, right? So I have a confession. I use ready-made spaghetti sauce, folks. All right, I don't make it from scratch. Maybe for Alfredo, yes, I'll do it from scratch. But for spaghetti and meatballs, it's ready-made. I also use 3 different types of cheese. So we have some cheddar cheese, we have the Baby Bell cheese, and we have some Parmesan cheese. So we're gonna get cracking and start our sauce.
Yeah, man. Alright guys, so let me check and see how our spaghetti is going. And it is almost finished.
Put some oil.
Kristy had put some oil in it. She said that is for the spaghetti not to stick up together when it's strained, and when it's ready to eat, it will be loose kind of way. So that's a little technique. Some oil when you're boiling.
Okay, so we're gonna start the sauce. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of oil into the pot.
Right, and then lay that hot up.
Just line it hot up a little bit, and then we're gonna saute some onions. Now normally I'll do some onions, I'll do some fresh pimentos, but I don't have any pimentos. So I'm just using the onion.
And guys, the pot was extremely hot already, so when she put in the oil, it didn't take that long to heat up the oil. And there we have the onion, just sauteing a little bit, right? Just to soften it up and let it sweat out a little bit, so that we can put in the other ingredients. Now I had asked for a meat-based sauce.
So I'm going to put a little bit of the minced chicken and cook it up into the sauce. Now I would normally use a little bit of Italian seasoning. However, I just went into my pantry and I realized that I didn't have any Italian seasoning. So I'm just going to use what I have. Because I know the ready-made spaghetti sauce
more or less have all that in it already.
Yes,
Okay.
would have that.
Okay.
So now the onions are sauteed a bit. We're just going to put the minced chicken in. And let that cook down. Alright, so this is how we want our minced chicken. For me, I normally leave it to dry down a little bit, you know, because I don't want any sort of freshness in the chicken. Although I did lime it, but I still leave it to dry down. So you see there's no water in the chicken. And we're going to start throwing in our spaghetti sauce.
That's one
bottle. And I'm just going to open the next bottle. So folks, if you're having trouble opening bottles, this is a very handy tool.
in the kitchen.
Yes. And this is half bottle. Now this is a chunky spaghetti sauce, tomato and basil. And we're just going to let that cook up. Now, spaghetti sauce is a very acidic thing. So what I do, in order to cut that, I just pour a little sugar
So you're gonna pour me onto it?
Yes, I'm gonna pour dill onto the spaghetti sauce. I am gonna put a little water, not too much, in here.
So the water is to help it.
Just to boil it up a little bit.
Okay.
And we bring it to a boil before we add our other ingredients. Okay, so our sauce is simmering, and we're now gonna add in some more ingredients. So all you know, we Trinis like our green seasoning. So we're going to put in a little bit of green seasoning. Salt to taste. A little bit of Maggi chicken seasoner to give it an extra flavor. And a little paprika. We stir and let simmer.
Alright guys, so our spaghetti has been strained and put to sit here to cool down. It's nice, and I don't want to touch it now because if I touch it I will get buff up. But it's nice and soft, not too soft, not soggy, and our meatballs are here, ready to go into our meat sauce, and boom, spaghetti and meatballs. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so we're gonna finish off the meat sauce and put the last set of ingredients. So here we have the cheeses going in. And the cheese, it's going to melt up. Also, our Parmesan. Now, I know people normally would take this on top, but I prefer to put it into the pot. Give it a little stir. So I guess this is a double meat spaghetti sauce.
Yummy. So we're gonna put in the meatballs now.
Yes, we're gonna put in our meatballs.
And how long we gonna have that boiling for now?
About 5 minutes because our meatballs are already cooked.
Okay.
So I like to make my spaghetti sauce to a thick consistency. I don't like a watery spaghetti sauce.
Again, that will be to preference. So
My liking.
if somebody like it a little more watery, they could bring it to that texture.
Yes. So I'm just gonna leave this for like about 5 minutes. And that's it.
Spaghetti and meatball completed. Alright guys, dinner time. After all that hard work that I have produced this lovely dinner here, and I'm now going to enjoy this dinner. So let me try it out. Let's see what's going on in this thing. Here we go. Highly recommended. Try it. You will like it. Time to put on this camera. And folks, to end of this video, we would like to say a big shout out to a special person, right? Someone who is dear and special to us.
And he means a lot, a very humble, kind and loving gentleman. So, blessings to you, Mr. Lasana Batiste.
Lasana Batiste,
We love you. We really, really love you.
Yes, brother.
We wish you all the best.
All the best. God's richest blessing. Good health and strength, brother.
So,
Peace.
folks, thank you very much for the support once again.
I hope you all enjoy this video and look out for some more coming up.